Good morning, guys. This morning I have a hat on, and that hat is the oldest hat I own. It belonged to my grandfather, who really was a key figure in my early years and who I love dearly. It's an old hat. It was his, and I took it to be mine almost 23 years ago when he died. And it seems amazing to me that it's been that long. I loved him dearly, and so this hat, it's been weathered, it's out of style now, it's been fixed in the back and stuff because I used to wear it incessantly. But it reminds me of him, and it reminds me of how much I loved him and how much he loved me. It's also my favorite sports team, Syracuse, and if you've been around me at all, you know that I have a devotion to them, an affection for them, maybe an inexplicable affection for them, but it is an affection nonetheless. And I can remember celebrating the highs of a national championship they won in 2003 and the lows of lots of other years. But I stay with them, and I am a true fan in that way. This morning I want to mention to you a character attribute of God, that those two little things, affection for Syracuse and the deeper love that my grandfather had for me and that I have for him, are just little harbingers of. They're just little fragmentary displays of the abiding, true, ultimate, unchanging, unfettered love of God. And the love of God is not like those trivial examples. The love of God is a love that never changes. It's a love that is constant. It's a love that is always true and always consistent with the other aspects of his character and the other attributes that he possesses. But his love means that he will always do what is in my best interests. That's what love is. It's acting in another's best interests. And I learn from words in the Hebrew and the Greek. Chesed, his true, steadfast, loyal, faithful, devoted love. In the Greek, agape, this unconditional, I'm going to set my affections willfully on you. Phileo, an impassioned love that is born from this intrinsic kind of like a friend would, but just very intrinsic passion. God is for me, and God is for you. The psalmist says in Psalm 136, I won't read the whole psalm with you, but literally in all the verses of the psalm, there is the refrain. In every verse, for his steadfast, his hesed, his steadfast love endures forever. So just the first couple of verses. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. For his hesed, his steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods, for his hesed, his steadfast love endures forever. It takes me into the New Testament to a passage in 1 John chapter 4, verse 8 that says, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. In this, the love of God was made manifest among us, that God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. God so loved us. God so loved us that he sent his Son. God is love. Not that love is God. It's not this sort of pantheistic or notion that somehow if you have love, then you have a spark of the divine. It's not that idea at all. But it is the reality that the only way you can understand love, the only way that love comes home, is to be connected to God. Because God is love. Everything that love means in its purest form is bound up in God. Not the silly affection for a basketball team. Not even the really righteous affection for a grandfather and his affection for me. But something much deeper, much fuller, much richer. God really does have true love for us. And that's why we can have those other things. That's why I can have those affections. That's why I can have meaningful relationships. Because they're rooted in the reality that God ultimately purely loves me and showed that, and purely loves you and showed that by giving his Son for us. Praise God for his love, that while everything else in our life is up and down, God's love never fails. Have a great day.